Were my clothes hand washed like I asked? The washing machine damages them, so they should be done manually.
I didn't have the time, as I mentioned. I used the delicate cycle on the washing machine. It's the best I could do.
I didn't approve that. Who said you could be careless? These clothes aren't cheap like your inexpensive garments.
Approve?
Exactly. I don't recall giving you the go-ahead for the machine. Did I allow you to ruin my clothes?
Well, I didn't know I needed permission.
Of course you did. I don't buy expensive clothes only to have you destroy them.
You mean Patrick's hard-earned money?
Listen, Angie. I never said you could just toss them in the washer with your dirty laundry. So, if I didn't say you could, you should have hand-washed them. Unbelievable, having to remind you again.
You're not serious.
Are you talking back? Just hand-wash them next time. And remember why you're here.
The reason I'm here? I married Patrick, your brother. I was fine living with your father and helping him. Considering my own grandfather's military experience. Patrick told me how tough it was when your mother passed. And I'm okay, helping around the house. I didn't mind that you were still living at home. There's enough space for everyone. But I'm not here to do everything for you.
You're not grasping it, are you? Need me to spell it out? While under our roof, you follow our rules. We're letting you stay here out of kindness. Seems you've forgotten that. You're benefiting from our generosity. Remember that.
What are you talking about? Is this some twisted fairy tale?
My brother supports you, right? Most would be grateful and help the family that took them in. Instead, you've got an answer for everything and complaints. Remember your place, Angie.
I didn't marry to be a housemaid. I knew Patrick's mother passed and his father needs care due to his war wounds. I didn't expect to be treated like Cinderella.
I don't care what you expected. It's my house, my rules. I should charge you for my medical expenses. You stress me since moving here.
If I did pay, it'd be extortion from your brother, not me.
You're causing hair loss, and I need pricey treatments. Julio says stress caused my back issues. Daily massages, saunas, and a homeopathist are recommended. It's costly. And the aromatherapy and personal trainer. It all adds up, Angie.
You're being taken advantage of. I won't pay for that new age stuff.
This is a serious matter. I require approximately $10,000 urgently. If you pay up and put in the effort for the housework, I'll let you continue living here without rent.
I wonder how Patrick will react to all this. He might get angry and kick you out. What would that mean?
I can guarantee my brother will support me. Patrick and I have always been very close. When I showed him the therapy invoices, he suggested asking you for $20,000.
He actually said that? My husband advised you to try and deceive his wife out of $20,000? Your story lacks credibility.
Certainly, we both know you don't have that kind of money. Patrick said he'll introduce you to a friend who can arrange a loan without complications. No background checks, nothing. Just make sure to repay it or let's just say falling behind on payments isn't wise. That's your husband's stance. It sounds like your marriage is in trouble.
You're unbelievable.
Have you noticed Patrick's been really tense lately? The smallest things set him off. Using a chainsaw to scare away Jehovah's Witnesses the other day. Overkill. Turns out the inheritance he expected doesn't exist. Dad's veteran's pension only covered living expenses. The rest he either spent or, we don't know. But there's nothing left for Patrick to inherit. Except the house.
But his construction company is successful. What about that? It must be valuable. Patrick told me he rejected the last offer to buy him out. The shareholders want him to sell to Earthworks Inc. I'm surprised he refused.
Patrick really wants to sell. It's only been 6 months since he took over from our father, but he's not suited for construction. Patrick is more into books and pens. He clashes with the work team bosses and hates visiting building sites.
I see.
As soon as he finds a buyer, he'll sell and start a women's high fashion company. A far cry from construction. Patrick said he'll involve me as a silent partner. After all, it was Daddy's company.
I haven't heard any of this from Patrick.
There seems to be a trust issue. I'd be concerned if I were you. Maybe they thought you wouldn't understand? Or maybe they thought you should stick to cleaning.
I find it hard to believe Patrick would make such plans without discussing it with me.
What does that suggest? They don't value your input. How does that make you feel? Disillusioned? Despair? Maybe both? Regardless, things look bleak for you. Best to accept your situation, focus on being a diligent housekeeper. Leave important matters to those who know better. And if you can't comply, the door's there. We took you in, so earn your keep.
Understood. Loud and clear.
Really? I thought you were incapable of grasping even simple concepts. That's good to know. Right, I'll leave you to it. I expected more resistance before you understood.
Nope. I get it.
Excellent. A laugh and a smile, and everything's fine. As long as everyone knows their place, we'll get along well. Oh, the money? Please provide it by week's end. I need it for spa reservations next month. They require upfront payment due to online payment issues, as Julio mentioned. If you need a loan, talk to Patrick. He knows someone. Hi, Angie. What's going on with the money? We had an agreement that you'd pay me by the end of the week. Cash only, no bank transfers.
I won't give you anything.
What? Wait, we had a deal. I said 1 week and you said fine. What's changed? Don't try to back out now. Stop fooling around, will you? I need that money today.
You're the one playing games. Trying to pressure your brother's wife for money? For what? Some made-up story? You won't get a penny.
You're quite disrespectful, aren't you? Since when are you in charge here? I made it clear where you stand in this family. At the bottom. If you can't be quiet and do your chores, you might end up divorced and kicked out.
I got divorced yesterday.
What on earth are you talking about? Are you drunk? You can't just get divorced so quickly. It takes time, money, and legal processes. Clearly, you're emotionally unstable right now. Should I call Julio to see if he can see you today? He's expensive, but he might help you relax and get back to normal.
Some time ago, I had a big fight with Patrick. We managed to resolve it, and things returned to our current situation. The fight went on for days, and in the heat of the moment, Patrick handed me divorce papers. He had already signed them. I wondered if that was the end of our marriage. Eventually, he calmed down, and I thought he forgot about the papers. But I didn't forget. I kept them. I don't know why, but I thought they might be useful someday. So, when you started demanding unreasonable money, I signed those papers and registered them. I knew it would cause problems and that Patrick might try to stop me. So I did it yesterday while he was out of town. Also, about his supposed business trips. He calls them that, but I know he's just having fun on the company's expense. How does he come back with a tan and a hangover? There's often sand in his clothes. I'm not naive. His passport is filled with Mexican stamps, dated too. You two must think I'm a fool.
Did you really get divorced?
Absolutely. So if you want money, you'll have to go through legal means. As long as I'm here, I'll be treated like a maid by you. And I don't even know how Patrick sees me now. So, divorcing him was the simplest decision. I can't wait to get far away from both of you.
But you said, got it, loud and clear. I was surprised and relieved that you were finally understanding the situation. I hoped things would calm down in this house.
I tried talking to him about the company and about you, but he wouldn't listen. I think he loves you more than me, which is odd. So, I asked him directly why he married me. And you know what he said? He married me to take care of his sick father and manage the house. As soon as I heard that, everything became clear. No more wondering if he's busy or if he loves me. I got it. So, I decided to divorce him right then and there.
So, leave. Get out now. Don't waste another second. I'm serious. If I see your face again, I don't know what I'll do. You've been freeloaders. Now you're not even family. You have no right to be here. Get out. How dare you try to freeload?
I believe you're the freeloader here, and it's you who needs to leave.
You disrespectful. What are you talking about? I said leave.
You think this house belongs to you? Lisa, get ready for a shock.
What are you even saying? This is my family's house. Now leave.
Hate to break it to you, but I'm enjoying this. I can't lie. This house is mine. It's in my name.
Explain yourself. My father bought this house years ago. We've lived here for ages. What are you blabbering about? Close your mouth and leave.
Let me clarify. No hidden meaning. I own this place. The deed is in my name. I purchased it. So, it's mine.
No. 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 What on earth? My father bought this house decades ago, way before you were around. This is our house. Shut your mouth and leave. I'm calling the police. You're a freeloader. Get out.
Go ahead, call them. Your father asked me to buy the place. So I did. Call the cops. You'll have to explain. And maybe after your outburst, you'll accept the truth. Please, call them. I need help evicting an intruder.
Wait a second. What the? What are you even saying? This is getting too ridiculous.
Well, it seems you're not as smart as you think. Fine, I'll explain. Just before your father passed away last year, he told me his company was failing. They were close to bankruptcy.
Yes, but Daddy got a sudden investor who gave a loan to save the company.
Right, and guess who the investor was?
I can't believe this conversation is happening. You sound crazy. You need more than a massage and aromatherapy. This requires professional help.
Exactly. Anyway, your father asked me to buy the house so he could rescue the company.
This is the most absurd story I've ever heard. Why would he ask you? And you want me to believe you're actually wealthy? How is that even possible?
If you really want to know. I took the inheritance my parents left me and invested most of it in a small company I believed in. It turned out to be successful. It did so well that I never needed to work again. That success allowed me to invest in more promising companies. The dividends alone sustain me. And I seem to have a knack for spotting high-growth opportunities.
And I used to think you were simple. So, you're some kind of investment genius?
More lucky than genius, honestly. I always thoroughly research companies before investing. But yes, that's where my wealth comes from. I avoid flaunting my money to avoid unnecessary attention. When I saw your father's company struggling, I offered to help.
So you bought the house? Why?
He refused direct assistance. Maybe due to his pride or attachment to the company he built from scratch. I'm not sure. To make him accept my help, I offered to purchase the house. At the time, he was alive, and Patrick and I were newly married. It made sense, and I kept it a secret. Even Patrick doesn't know.
So, the house is really yours?
Yes, that's correct. So, it was actually me who allowed you to live here out of goodwill. Anyway, you're wasting time instead of packing. The sooner you start, the sooner you can leave. When you should be packing.
Hold on a moment. What about Patrick's new company?
You mean his plan to mortgage the house for funds to start his clothing company? That plan is no longer viable, is it? It's fallen apart. You can't mortgage something that isn't under your ownership. By the way, Lisa, you too might want to check the ownership papers for that company Patrick believes he inherited.
No. This can't be true.
Yes, indeed. So, you won't be making any sales without my approval. Patrick is just a figurehead president. The company is registered in my name.
This is unbelievable. Daddy never mentioned any of this to us.
Because you weren't around to listen. When he was sick and the company was in trouble. You two were always preoccupied. I was the one helping him into his wheelchair, assisting with his baths, and reminding him about his medication, while Patrick was frequently on business trips. And you were investing in wasteful spa ventures. I was by his side when he passed away. In the end, he called his lawyers and transferred everything to me. I was the one who cared for him.
That cunning old fox. Patrick doesn't know. He's meeting his new business partners today. Oh no! He took a large loan from his friend, who's not someone to mess with.
Oh, my goodness. That friend isn't a regular banker, I presume. So, putting it together, Patrick got a loan from a dubious individual? Because a bank would have assessed the company's financials and ownership. discovering that neither the company nor the house were in Patrick's name.
No, the loan is from a friend. It'll be fine. What do we do now?
It's no longer my concern.
I co-signed the loan with Patrick. I'm involved too.
Well, you're a partner, right? You share the risk with him.
True, but we thought the house could serve as collateral. What now? Our entire plan was built around selling the house and the business. This is a disaster. It's all falling apart.
You should have consulted me earlier.
How was I supposed to know? Neither you nor Daddy said anything. Now we've lost both the company and the house. We're left with a massive debt.
Your first step should be repaying the loan as soon as possible. The interest on such loans can make things extremely difficult. Missing a payment will only worsen the situation, as these types of lenders raise the interest. That's how they operate.
The money's already been spent. We invested in the new business, a Euro shop, interior design, inventory, staff.
You've really managed to mess things up. If I were superstitious, I'd call it karma. It seems your plans have crumbled. You'll sink deeper into debt.
Angie, I've made a terrible mistake. I'm sincerely, deeply sorry. I was dreadful to you. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? Never mind Patrick, he's always self-centered. Please, Angie, forgive me. I'm begging you.
Fine, I'm not even upset.
Really? You'll forgive me just like that?
Yes. I forgive you. I won't hold a grudge. Just leave my house. You and Patrick are meant for each other. You're both worthless, and I want to minimize my exposure to you. How much longer do you plan to trespass on my property? Realizing they couldn't continue living in the city where the story is set, Lisa and Patrick swiftly packed their belongings and vanished overnight. Faced with an insurmountable debt owed to a loan shark, they chose to flee rather than confront the potential violent consequences of failing to repay the loan. Some rumors suggest they sought refuge in a quaint fishing village in Maine, while others speculate they headed to New Brunswick or even further into Canada. Wherever their destination, they adopted new identities to evade suspicion. Occasional letters, pleading for forgiveness and financial aid to settle the loan shark's debt, used to arrive, always postmarked from varying locations along the US-Canada border. Perhaps they remained in perpetual motion, traversing the vast and captivating expanse of the country, finding solace in numerous small towns where they could easily fade away. However, I've ceased perusing the letters, opting to discard them directly into the trash. Once, I encountered a visit from a companion of Patrick's loan shark, accompanied by his henchmen. Their intention was to pressure me into repaying the debt. Investigation revealed they lacked affiliations with any criminal organization. The ringleader was merely a former school acquaintance of Patrick's, wielding no substantial influence within the city. I shared this with a few colleagues in my construction firm. And let's just say that the aforementioned troublemaker's office turned to ashes in a remarkably short span. Naturally, I won't allow Patrick and Lisa to become privy to this occurrence. As far as I'm concerned, they can continue their fugitive existence indefinitely. Concerning the construction company I acquired from Patrick's father, I had apprehensions about my capability to navigate the challenging realities of business ownership. As it turns out, I've proven adept at it. That's two skills I can confidently tout. Oh, and confronting difficult sisters-in-law. Gradually, the company is regaining profitability, having secured the contract to reconstruct the football stadium. I hope Patrick's father looks down upon me from above with approval. I trust he finds satisfaction in having relied on me.